Hello, hi. I'm just going to wait a moment and let people join in if they wanted to. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be talking all about these patterns and what I'm going to do with them. I'll just wait a moment until some people pop in. Sorry, blathering on a little bit. Hello, here we go. People are starting to rock in. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to be telling you all about these patterns and what my plan is for them, and answering any questions that you have about them as well. So I've just realised that I've put my thing a little bit far away. I'm not going to be able to read your comments. Bear with me while I just get a bit closer. There we go, that's better. I'll be able to read now. So new look, new me, new glasses, shorter hair. Welcome. So thank you very much for joining me. Lovely to see you. Is it quite, it's not, well, it's just ticking over to 10 o'clock. So good morning. Hello, Sandra and Joe in Ulladulla. Lovely to see you. Where else? Just while we're waiting for other people to join in, feel free to pop in. Let me know where you are. Hello. Hi, Jessie. Nice to see you. Let me know where you are, where you're watching from. I know it's impossible for me to get the right time zone that is going to make everybody happy. You know, people are working, people are sleeping. Hi. Hello. Lovely to see you, Kristen. Hello from Sydney. Excellent. So, yes, this will be... I'll be popping this recording up on my feed for later. Hello. Oh, California. Excellent. Hi, Debbie. Yorkshire. Yay. All around the world. Hello. Hi. Hi, Gillian. Gillian. Hi, Mildura. Lovely. Ontario. Hi, Shelley. Another Shelley. Excellent. Queensland. Ohio. All over the world. This is awesome. Fabulous. Yerringong. Canberra, South Australia. Cassandra. Hello. Lovely to have you all here. Okay, so the story of these patterns is I am making time every week to sit down and design a new pattern. Hello, Western Australia. And this is a design that I came up with. Hi, Orange in California. Paul in Victoria. Hi, Susan. Just up the road. Hi. Okay, thank you. I'm going to start talking now. Sorry. All right, so this is a design that I've had in my head for ages, but no time to actually make it happen. And then in my designing time that I set aside now, I made it work. So I was just showing you the back then. Let me show you the front. And as soon as I did this, I knew that it would very easily lend itself to a larger square and also a larger square. And that's where I decided to stop. I thought 3 patterns that you can fit together will be fun. Now, I had a name idea pretty much as soon as I designed these patterns, but I wanted some ideas from other people just to see, maybe get a bit of a reassurance that other people saw what I saw. But I also was very specific that I didn't want things like swirl and whirl and windmills and twirls and all that sort of stuff. So I got hundreds and hundreds of suggestions for name ideas for these patterns. And there was a lot of carnival and whirligigs and windmills and all that sort of stuff, which I totally get. I totally see how you see that. That's not what I see when I see these patterns. And when I do a pattern, if you've done any of mine before, you know that I like to have a theme, something that ties them all together, something that gives them a bit of a story. And my initial idea is the one that kept that story going for me and really made me happy. So, and there were 3 people in the hundreds who got the theme, if not the actual name that I've ended up going with. Okay, so enough mucking about. So what I see when I look at these is a record spinning around on a record player. So my growing up, music was a huge part of my life. I loved records. I'm of that era where you went and bought a 45, a single, you went and bought an album, and you listened to it over and over again. You know, you'd get up and you turn it over after one song. You'd know where the scratches were on the records. You'd listen out for the little things. You knew the order that the songs were going to play in. It's very different to how music is consumed these days. But I loved it. I was a huge fan of music. We had a show in Australia called Countdown on every Sunday night, and I watched it religiously, and I memorised the top 40, and Monday morning at school I would be the one, oh, did you? I was so excited about it all. And I still have many, many memories of records. So I have decided to call this collection of patterns Vinyl Revival. So, and I've named each of these patterns after the speed that you can play records at. So the common speeds when I was growing up, there was 45 for your singles, which is revolutions per minute, RPM, 33 1/3, which is your albums, and there was 78, which would be your older albums. Now 78 and 33, I know, countdown. 78 and 33 1/3 in physicality are actually pretty much the same size, and these are very different sizes, but I'm still going with it. So 45, 33 1/3, and 78. So I've had, honestly, so much fun putting this together because it's made me take a trip down memory lane. So I have been thinking about all of those musical memories. Like I still have all of my, well, I say the family still has all of our vinyl records that we bought growing up. I remember Mum had a record player that she bought that was wood, and the speakers sat on top, and then you took them off, and that was the turntable that you played with. That was upstairs. Downstairs was the fancy stereo. You know, Mum and Dad had a lot of records. I remember they had the Beatles box set and that kind of stuff, and a lot of Neil Diamond and things. But then, you know, as we were growing up, Christmas presents, birthdays, we would always ask for music. When we started working, we would buy our own music. So I've got a lot of memories tied up with it. Recently, our oldest took our turntable because we weren't actually playing our records anymore. Thank you. And our middle child, the youngest two, sorry, I'm getting distracted with my thoughts, recently divided our vinyl collection between them. Yes, I still love records. And I mean, pretty much my Spotify list, I have a lot of those albums and stuff on there, and I still listen to. But what I've actually done while I've been getting all this stuff ready is I've created a Spotify playlist to go along with the Vinyl Revival patterns. And I think I'm up to like 23 hours worth of listening. So it's all, I mean, I'm of the 70s and 80s. That's when I grew up. So there's a lot of 70s and 80s music in there. And I have very specific memories about them. And in the actual final pattern that you're going to get, I've got some little memories, little snippets of memories about things, about vinyl records. So, all right. So Vinyl Revival is the name of the pattern. I'm going to release it soon. I've actually sneakily, just before I came live on here, popped up the pre-order on my shop. I'll put a link in this description of this video, and I add it afterwards. And you can pre-order it now, and in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks today, the full pattern will be released. And yeah, I hope you do. And if you pre-order that pattern, you can actually get access to that playlist right now and start listening, and maybe you'll have some musical memories the same as me or similar, and some of the songs will take you back to that time. I can still listen to some of them and I can think, oh, I remember exactly being in my room at that time, or being somewhere, or being with a person. So yeah, it's fun times. I thought it was fun times anyway. All right, so let me tell you what's in the pattern. So it's not a blanket. Here, I make this blanket because I haven't made one. I've made lots of squares. I've made these ones. I've made these ones just with things that I had on hand. I've made lots of samples in other colours and other yarns, but I haven't made an actual blanket. So what I have also included in the pattern, it's a really, really long pattern. It could be a book. I've given you all the information you need to be able to plan your own projects. So I've got a sheet you can cut out the different size squares and muck around with layouts. I've got 2 different ways you can plan your own project, and I take you through each step. So if you want to make something this size, how to do that, how to work out how much yarn you need, all that sort of stuff. And I know, there are some of you going, no, I'm out. That's me. I don't want to do any maths. Not working, not doing it. It's okay. There is a sample project in there that I've got the yarn needs for. If you don't want to do any planning, don't want to make anything yourself, you can just go, oh, I need this much and this much done. That's to make a 2-colour blanket using all 3 squares, using 1 colour for your record and 1 colour for your squaring off. So don't worry, I've got you covered. If you don't want to do any planning, that's fine. But the maths. It's not hard maths, it's easy maths. And I'm literally, step by step, I'm going to take you through how to do it. So, it's okay. Trust me, it'll be all good. So I'm going to use this pattern as a cowl. Now, the pattern is going to be released. You don't have to do the crochet along if you don't want to, but if you want to, which is always fun, making something at the same time as other people, it will be starting on the same day. But it's going to be different to my past cowls because it's not a pre-made thing. I can't say, okay, week 1, make this, this, and this. Week 2, make that and that. It doesn't work because, well, hopefully everyone will be making their own thing and it'll be all different. So the first part of the cowl is going to be the planning part, where we sit down, we work out what we're going to make, what yarn we're going to use, how much we need, and sorting out the yarn. Or, okay, I'm making that's in the pattern, I'm going to go and get the yarn sorted. Okay, so it's okay. So the planning section, I'm going to be on hand in my Facebook group, is where I tend to run my cowls because it's easy. So I'll be taking, if people have struggling trying to work out what they're doing, then I'll be there on hand to help you. Or if you don't do Facebook, by email. Start with the pattern, figure out what you want to make, and then just let me know if you want a hand to work things out. And then after that, every 2 weeks, I'm just going to send an email, a cowl email, and post in my Facebook group. Just a bit of encouragement. Okay, how are you going? Let's go. Show us where you're up to. If you've got any problems, let me help you out. So yes, to take part in the cowl, you don't have to do anything. That you don't have to register with me or anything like that. If you want to get emails about it, if you sign up to my weekly newsletters, there's a link down the very bottom that says edit your preferences, and you can click that link and it will take you to some other emails you can subscribe to as well. And one of them is cowl emails. Click that, and then every couple of weeks I'll send you an email just saying, hey, how you going? And time to share what you're doing. But I'll also be doing the same thing on my Facebook group. So every 2 weeks I'll be asking people to share what they're up to, show their progress, all that kind of thing. But I'm also going to be hosting, because this is not just about the crochet, it's about the music. I'm also going to be in those reminders every 2 weeks, having a bit of a chat about music. Let's share some memories together. Some of the, I know 100% there are people going to be saying, but there's no blah, 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 blah band in this list. And that's true. But it's my list. It's my memories. So we'll have those discussions. Discussions about certain songs, certain artists, certain times. So that's all going to be part of it as well in my Facebook group. Yes, but you don't have to do any of that. If you just want to get the pattern and start working straight away, go for it. You're totally free to do that. It's totally free. Okay, so now I have to talk about colour changes a little bit here as well, because I know there's something that is on the tips of everybody's tongues that they want to ask about, and I'm going to go to it. So the patterns are all designed and written for one colour, because that's how I roll, because I always want you to put your own spin on what you see colour-wise. But there are 2 really obvious colour changing ways. There's one colour, it's not colour changing. 2 colour changes. So you can do the circle part, the record, in one colour in squaring off another. But there's also 2 ways you can do that, because the last round of the circle on all of them is just a round of double crochet UK, single crochet US. So this one I have done the last round in the sort of record colour. This one I've done the last round in the squaring off colour. Okay, so there's a little bit of an option there. It's going to come down to personal preference where you want to do that. And because it's just a round of the smaller stitches, it's not going to have much of an impact on your yarn needs, so don't stress about that. So that's one option. I'm just going to take you through more variations of that before I get into the other one. All right. What are the stitches in the patterns? So they're all the most common stitches, mainly trebles UK, doubles US, front posts and back posts, basically. That's how this effect is achieved. All right, so other colour changing, other thing here, I just reverse the colours that I did in this one. Done. This one I've used a different type of yarn. All of these previous ones have been the Bendigo Woolen Mills cotton. And this is in Moya cotton in a couple of different shades. So I've done the record in one part, the last round in another slightly darker blue, and then squared off. This one I've just done the smaller round stitches in a different colour. I wanted to have a go at this. So this one, this is wool, 8-ply wool, and I have done 2 rounds, 2 rounds, 2 rounds. I've changed colour. I don't think it works, you know, but I just wanted to do it just to experiment. You sort of lose that whole record effect, I think. And this one even more so. I changed every second round. Again, I think you lose the impact of it, but if that's something that you like, then go for it. I'm not going to tell you it's right or wrong. Just personally, it's not working for me. I want to see the record. Okay, so that's that. Now, other yarns, you don't have to use. This is all about you using what you can access. Yes, I have used Bendigo Wool and Mills cotton, but you don't have to use that because not everyone can get that, and that's fine. And all of mine were done in 8-ply, whereas I did this one in 10-ply. So this is the same pattern, and you can see the size difference. So it's going to be larger. If you use larger yarn, larger weight, it's going to be larger. And if you use, this is a different yarn again. This is, what is it? This one? It's Fiddlesticks Pepin 8, which is 100% superfine merino wool superwash. So this is supposedly the same weight as this, and yet the size is a little bit smaller. So, you know, changing yarn from what I have used is going to affect your size of your squares, but it's only going to be minor, so don't stress about it. There's one other thing I wanted to say too about the changing. Oh, this is a different yarn. Okay, so this is, I have used alpaca in the centre because I wanted to do like a dark colour for a record, but I think you actually lose, it's too dark. You don't get that spirally sort of action. It's just like a big blob circle. And I've used merino and alpaca blend for the squaring off of that one. So it feels lovely, but I think it's a little bit lost in the darkness. There are other minute colour changing things that I've gone into in detail, because you know me, detail in the pattern. Right, okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about is this colourway. Because I know that's what a lot of people saw. They saw candy swirls, peppermint swirls, that kind of thing. Here's another one that I've done. All right, so I have included instructions on how to do this, because what's actually happening is you're using 2 colours in every round. So you're having to swap colour yarns in every round. There's 12 segments, so 12 times you're going to have to change over yarn. And that, while that's very effective, because of the way the pattern works, it can be a bit fiddly. And I've done a video showing you how to do it. I've got lots of round by round photos. I mean, not round by round. I've got detailed photos showing you how to swap yarns and all that sort of stuff. But there is a big but. It's fine, relatively fine on this one. And I'm going to show you the back. Okay, you've got floats. So when you change from one colour to the other, you've got floats. Because we're working front post and back post stitches, you can't catch that float on the back as you work your stitches without it showing on the front. So it is fiddly. So you need to think about, if you want to do that, it's not so bad on a small square, but when you get to a larger one, look how long they are. If you're concerned about, you know, things catching, you might want to consider lining your blanket if you're going to do this, or, you know, maybe you're going to make a bag and line it or something, you know. So there are considerations. It does look great, I know, but it is fiddly, and we do have those floats to contend with. But as I say, I have gone into that in the pattern. All right, so what's included in this super long pattern? You are going to have your 3 different sized patterns. And I'm just going to say now, it looks like they're all done the same, but this one starts the same as these 2, but these 2 are finished off slightly differently to how that works, just because of the way crochet works. Anyway, so you've got your written patterns in UK and US terminology. You've got a chart, regular, as well as left-handed charts for the left-handers out there. I've got video. I haven't got video of every round, okay? I've got video of every round of this part here. But then, because it's pretty much the same, I show you what to do. I don't show you every round of this because it's just the same with an extra stitch, you know, basically. And if it's just a stitch in every stitch round, then I haven't done a video for that either because, you know, that's boring. And I'm sure that you know how to do a stitch in every stitch round. Okay, so there's videos for everything you need to know, all the important parts, as well as mirrored videos for the left-handers as well. There's a full glossary with every stitching technique listed and described, all the abbreviations and symbols and stuff like that. There is, what else is in there? Oh, project planners. So there's 2 different project planners depending on how you want to plan your project. There's your layout grid, so you can cut out squares and play with things. There is a lot of, because it's just a PDF, it's not a book, there's lots of internal links to make it easy. So if you're in the written pattern and you need to go to the video, then there's a quick link for you to get to the page where the videos are. You know, that kind of thing. What else is there? I've put in a few little musical memories as well that have no impact whatsoever on the pattern, but it's just a few little snippets of fun times that I've had reminiscing. And I'm sure there's more. As I said, there's I've given you some colour changing ideas, all the help and stuff on doing this, and all the help. There's a lot in there on planning your project. Yarn needs, there's a bit about blocking. Oh, there's joining instructions. That's right. That's quite a large part as well, because if you're joining, you know, 2 small ones to 1 big one, how do you do that? And then how do you join this one into that mix as well? So there's quite a bit of joining instructions. There's a very simple border pattern as well for you to use as on your creations. Yeah, there's quite a bit. I think it's about 50 pages or something at the moment. So yeah, it's not quite finished. We're just doing the last little bits at the moment, which is why it's pre-order, and it will be ready in a couple of weeks' time. So there you have it. That is the story of Vinyl Revival. Does anybody have any questions about it? About the cowl, about the pattern, about the scary planning? Just let me know. I mentioned, yay, excited. Yes, so you tuned in late. Yes, these are the 3 patterns that are going to be used in the cowl. And it's all, the collection is called Vinyl Revival because to me, they look like records playing on a record player, spinning around. Yes, there you go. Any other questions? Can you pre-order via the app? You will be able, what you can, if you, yes, because I have just, okay, so after I get off here, I'm actually going to add a special banner on the app so you can get there quickly, but it is there if you go to blanket patterns, you'll be able to see it. The pre-order. Will you put it in book form? No, this is not going to be a book. Nope. When are we starting? 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today, the pattern is released, the cowl starts. Same question. 2 weeks today, the pattern starts. Where do you pre-order? So in my shop, shop.shelleyhusbandcrochet.com, or if you on it. I'll put a link to the actual pre-order in the description of this video when I put the live recording on it. Great name, love the pattern. Yay! I can't wait to see everyone's variations as well. It's going to be great. Yes. I'm excited. It's so fun. I've been listening. Hubby and I have been listening to the playlist in the car. I know we've done a few long trips recently. And we're going through memories and stuff like that. And he'll be, oh, what about that song? And oh, well, add it on. And so I'm still updating that playlist. It's being updated constantly. There's some songs that I've added, and now that I listen to them, I think, oh my God, they're so wrong. They're so wrong. And some of them, a couple I've actually taken off because I just can't, because they're just so inappropriate now. Like, you know, whole attitude to women and stuff like that. Gosh. Anyway, it will be fun. I hope it is fun, and I hope you will join me in the crochet along or just with the pattern. If no one else has any other questions, I think I'd best get on and get all the information out to you. If you get my emails, I'm going to be talking about it in my email tomorrow with links and stuff as well. Anyway, awesome. Thank you. Fabulous. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you soon. Thank you. They absolutely weren't. All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.